Hey guys, welcome to Let's Get Personal, the real estate edition. However, today I'm going to combine a little bit of my own personal real estate transaction with you guys because I finally sold my home on Friday. Now I can only give a little bit of details because I am still in an active lawsuit with the first buyers. So really quickly, I put my home on the market and the plan was to basically take my home and build a smaller one for the boys and I. So we put the house on the market last October, had a buyer come in, we got under contract, and then by the end of December, I went to the new construction builder and got that process started, did all the design center appointments, everything as, moving along as if you're, going to be building a home, even though it was a contingency offer based on my home going through the final sale. Close date was February 7th, I believe, and everything's going good. Actually, their lender, wanted to close earlier if we could because the buyers were ready to go. The only problem was for me trying to move out of a 6-bedroom home into a temporary housing, which is our apartment that we live in now, the 3-bedroom apartment. So knowing that I had to work, still take care of kids, get them where they needed to be, I didn't want to put any more extra stress because if you've ever moved, you know what that's like. It's very stressful already. So I just said I need this time to be able to move out of my home. And I wanted to make everything perfect for the new buyers. So I signed a lease for an apartment mid-January, really kind of like the end of January, and my mom and sister came down one weekend because I was going to be in College Station for Caden's 7-on-7 tournament. And basically my mom and my sister, my dad, tried to move as much stuff into the apartment for me that they could over the weekend. So that way when we got back, I could actually, go ahead and start living at the apartment. And then all I was doing at that point was cleaning up and getting the last minute stuff out of the house. Not to mention, I had an estate sale and basically sold majority of everything we owned because I wanted a completely new look. Our house was very traditional and I was going for very modern with the new build. So have an estate sale, sell everything, and start fresh. February 7th comes, actually the week of closing, and the buyers are very demanding on some things that they want. And the night before closing, they realized there's a discrepancy in square footage by 500 square feet. Now that's like the size of a closet, and it wasn't like I took some space out of my house and moved it away. Like my house was the size that you saw it when you came 3 times before you wrote the offer, but whatever. So I go to closing and we find out that day after I signed that they are not going to come to closing. They actually wanted like a $100,000 discount on the price of my home because of the 500 square foot discrepancy. Obviously, I wasn't going to do that, and so they didn't come to closing. I will tell you, I had the biggest pity party for myself that day. I cried myself to sleep that night, and I'm sharing that with you to tell you that in life, and especially in the time we're in now, we all at some point will have a pity party for ourselves due to whatever. For me, this time was stressful because I was now on the hook for rent at my apartment, a mortgage, and I needed to hire an attorney to fight the old buyers on not coming to closing. If you've ever had to pay attorneys, you know that is like paying a mortgage. So essentially, it was going to be a very stressful time for me, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I cried myself to sleep, like I said, that Friday day and night, and had the biggest pity party, and I stressed because that was a huge day for me as far as like, what the hell am I going to do with all this money out? And I had put down earnest money on the new build, which I knew I could get that back because I did a contingency offer based on my home selling, so I wasn't too worried about that. But everything else, I felt a tremendous amount of stress going to be on my shoulders to get my home sold. I say that to say, if you do have a pity party, the most important part is to not stay there. Pick yourself back up. We can only control what we can control, and I had to quickly realize I didn't have any control over the situation or when a new buyer was going to come back. So don't stay there. The next day, I got myself up, reminded myself, Alicia, you still got to show up for yourself, your 3 kids, and your clients. So I'm thankful that I had my prayer partner and my therapist to help me, and my family to help me get through this time, and just reminding myself of all the things that I've done right, because I did feel like, holy shit, what am I gonna do for quite a few months, really up until Friday when my house sold to my new buyers. So I'm just sharing this with you guys because everybody is going through something, and it's easy to look on social media and look at people's life and say, wow, they live this amazing life, and I do live an amazing life, or envy other people for the life that they may live. And to be honest, we have no idea what people are going through outside of social media. And for me, that was stress, a tremendous amount of stress. And when I say, I keep stressing it because of the amount of money I was putting out every single month to maintain all this stuff. So don't envy someone else's life and think that someone else has it better than you, because we all struggle with something at some point. And I'm sharing that because a lot of times we don't hear the struggles on social media, and this was a pretty big struggle for me financially, trying to manipulate and figure out what I was going to do with my finances. So I'm sharing that with you in hopes to help someone. And I thank you guys for, wanting to hear more about real estate and personal things that are going on in my life. It truly makes me happy, and I love answering your questions. So continue to send them in. I will continue to answer them, even though I'm getting busier, which is a good thing in my business at this time. So I hope you guys have a happy Sunday, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye, guys.